extra time.
Hardik Pandya took that stunning catch. How pleasing it is when he's been away for the game, from the game for a bit, comes back, bowled with intensity, and then fielded with intensity. Can you just talk about his preparation into the Waigel batting?
Yeah, I mean, no one was more keen than Hardik Pandya to play that game, and obviously he's been working very hard during the time he got back home, and the kind of energy and he brought into the team, the desperation he brought was magnificent to see. He's always been a good fielder, and he was just dying to get into the thick of things and be a part of this and get back to what he loves doing, that is play cricket and play it the best he can. So, I mean, it was a wonderful opportunity for him, and that catch, I mean, he made a very difficult catch look easy. It was by no means an easy catch, and there also the fact that it was Kane Williamson's catch, the extra pressure of one of the best batsmen in the world. So, I mean, I think that was the turning point. That was, I would say, a piece of magic from Hardik Pandya. He's known for that. He's one of the best fielders we have in the country. So, yeah, and if you also notice, he did hit the stumps on quite a few occasions, on his comeback match as well, which was very pleasing to see for the team. So, yeah, and Hardik brings a lot to the team, not only the balance, but a lot of other factors, and it was very, very welcome to watch.
Coach, what are the different adjustments a fielder has to do, especially an Indian fielder has to do on grounds like this where there is a lot of wind? So when the high catches are come down, what are the adjustments they do and how do you prepare?
I mean, I think that's the biggest challenge you would face in New Zealand as a fieldsman, the breeze. I mean, most of your plans, even the batting and bowling plans, are based around the breeze. So as a fielder, if you see the ball is really wobbling in the air, and we're yet to go to Wellington. So, yeah, I mean, that the adjustment is we try and simulate those in practice. We use balls of different weights in practice so that the ball sways and swings more in the air. We try and get used to that kind, and there are a few technical adjustments like catching the ball as high as we can above the eye level, and also having a good solid base from which you can work. These are the small things which we try and practice, and to make sure that we give ourselves the best chance to take every high catch. Yeah, I mean, that's all we do. Yeah.
Throughout this tour, Australia and New Zealand catching as something that stood out even in the Test series in Australia. If on the bigger grounds in Australia, what were the key points that you worked at, especially placing those fielders? Was that Virat just placing fielders close in and then their catching instinct taking over, or was that something that you also worked along with the skipper and the fielders? Can you just talk about that?
Obviously, it all comes down from Virat and Shastri, but also the fact that we as a unit sit down, take note of the angles which are required to cut on any particular field, and if you see the team, we have a very experienced team. Although they are quite athletic and fit, most of them have played a lot of games, so they understand the angles and the game dynamics and which way the game is going, understand which moment to seize. And to add to that, right from beginning of 2018, we brought in a lot of methods to practice a lot of slip catches. If you go by even in England, I mean, it was a very satisfactory series for us as far as catching in the slips was concerned. And Rahul creating that world record of 14 catches. And something which we made a conscious effort, we brought in different types of machines to simulate slip catches. We did a lot of blindfold work. This really helped. And the reaction work. And when you went to Australia, I thought it was a well-oiled machine by the time we reached there. And if you see, Virat took some brilliant catches with the kind of practice that we put in. So it all boils down to the practice and the understanding of the game. I think that really helped. As an experienced unit, that really helps.
Coach,
Yeah.
the fielding is just one example where you probably outperformed the Black Caps this series. In its entirety, fielding, batting, bowling, you've barely put a foot wrong. Is this, have you really, is it as close to perfect cricket as India can play this series, is it?
Yeah, I mean, touch wood, we're playing some good cricket over the last few months, especially with the white ball. I would say yes, I think all the pieces are falling together. And if you see the team, it's quite an experienced unit. If you see the see all the players, the top 6 or top 8 players, they all been there right from the 2013 Champions Trophy. So the fitness levels have really gone up with our trainer Shankar Basu working very hard, and the kind of effort our bowling coach Arun has put in along with the bowlers, that's what really stands out. I mean, India was always a fabulous batting country, but the way the bowlers have started picking up wickets throughout different phases of the game. Bhuvi and Shami, potent force with the new ball, and then the leggies come in, and they not only against New Zealand, they did that against South Africa earlier in 2018 where we won 5-1, and they did this against England, they did it against West Indies, they did it in the Asia Cup. So they've done it time and again when the two leggies come and pick up those wickets. Apparently they've got 100 wickets between them in 20, 24, 25 games, which is magnificent. So the most important phase of the game is also taken care of. We're picking up wickets. So those two pieces are falling together, and then we have some excellent death bowlers in Bhuvi, Bumrah. So everything falling together, so it looks like a complete unit. So I think the experience of the team combined with the kind of fitness levels which are improved and the bowling which has gone about 10 notches higher is making it look like a complete unit, which is very good, augurs very well for us in the future for the World Cup especially.
You mentioned your bowling, but you've really, the batsmen have nullified the Black Caps bowlers as well. Do you feel the Black Caps have, their threat has maybe lost a little bit? Do you think the Black Caps bowlers have lost their teeth a little bit of it?
See, they're the number 3 team in the world. So when we came here with a lot of respect for the Black Caps, because we know what they can do. They came to India about 14 months ago and gave us a run for the money. They beat us hands down in the Mumbai game, and then we clawed our way back into the series in Pune. And in the last game, the decider, we just managed to hang on by 5 or 6 runs in Kanpur. And even the T20s, it was the same. So we knew how good a team the Black Caps are, and probably one of the best teams in world cricket. So we were prepared for that. And we also wanted to put our best foot forward. So, I mean, by no means the Black Caps are a poor side. They're a fabulous cricket team, and I think they always will be punching above their weight when it comes to the ICC tournaments, and we expect them to do it in the next 3 months as well, which is the World Cup. And I would just put it down to purely the Indian team, led by Virat Kohli and now by Rohit Sharma in the next 2 games, just playing their best cricket they played in the last few years.
Coach, the next 2 games of the series, what are 3 things that you've got it wrapped up? So what are you looking for from the team over the course of the next couple of games with an eye to that World Cup?
See, winning is a habit which you would obviously want to continue. And when you're 1 up or 3 up against a team, you want to continue with the form. You don't want to let down the intensity. At the same time, we also need to give game time to our reserves. So that is something which we need to look into now in these 2 games, with just 7 games remaining for us before we play our first World Cup game. We should not end up in a situation where the main 11 is played and the reserves have not got enough game time. Then suddenly they have to play an important, crucial game in the World Cup. So we want to give them enough game time as well. So that is what the team management will be thinking about, I'm sure, and that is what we would like to achieve from the remaining 2 games in this series. And there's no better place than New Zealand to simulate the conditions in England in June. So we would like to surely create a situation where we give some game time to our reserves.
You spoke about the blind tools. Can you just highlight what that was and what is the machine that you use in the LCS for?
Yeah, we used a machine called the Teammate for the England series. Teammate. So we just named it Teammate because it was helping us with our slip catching. But we did some blindfold rules. Since we had the feeder behind a curtain, so the catcher didn't know where the ball was coming from, and we used to slide it from under the curtain. So he didn't know from where the ball was coming or on which board the ball was going to fall and come. So it really improved the reaction. We did that extensively in England throughout the Test series. Yeah. But that was basically for red ball cricket. Yeah.
After this ODI series against Australia, there's a gap in the IPL. Like players work on their fitness and skills when they're away from the national side.
Yeah.
Is there a coaching or is there a fielding drill that you give them that they must follow that?
Yeah, we do give them follow-up programs in terms of fielding, like in fitness, which Basu and like what Patrick would do with the rehab and the stuff. So we do keep some follow-up programs, and we keep communication going with the players, and we also try and keep in touch with the fielding coaches of the respective teams or the support staff of the respective teams, so that we can get information as to how they are going about and where we want them during the IPL. So that's a kind of a seamless transition, and it's a good communication going on with the teams and the Indian team support staff there.
Hit the subscribe option and the bell icon to get all the exclusive sports videos on Extra Time.